20 seconds to go in the 6th. Garcia understands having beaten a Mauricio Diaz, but since that time losing 4 in a row, what a victory over an Adams would mean for him. And we'll pause now for a word for your local cable systems.
Here is what Jesse Reed is so concerned about. Look at these sucker punches that Bones Adams is getting tagged with. Look, little tie up, then a push off, and then crack. It's punches like this that is making Bones Adams wobble. And Jesse Reed does not like to see that. No trainer would like to see that of his fighter. You have to protect yourself at all times, especially on those breaks. When you go back, you got to put your hands up, expecting to be hit. You see, when Adams turns his back, he puts his hand behind his head because he expects to get hit. He should do that when he breaks too.
28 pro fights for the 37-year-old Felipe Garcia. He has also had 52 kickboxing fights, a former bantamweight kickboxing world champion.
Left hook from Adams. Fast left hook. Speed of Adams giving Garcia a lot of trouble. There's another good left hook from Adams. Garcia lunging with that right hand.
Some might have contended that was a knockdown, but the punch went down. That will not be scored as one.
That was a knockdown.
Here's the time in round 7, scheduled 10-rounder. Bones Adams, a 20-year-old out of Scottsdale, Arizona. 30 wins, 3 defeats, a couple of draws, 16 knockouts, is back to you. Being pressured by 37-year-old Felipe Garcia from Denver. Comes in with 16 victories, 11 defeats, a draw, and 9 KOs.
Garcia predicted a good fight tonight. He says, I want to be a mini Foreman at 37 years old.
Still has a ways to work on that, ways to go. And then you see in the background Mr. T on hand. Here to see Michael Nunn. Oh, flipping shot, and Adams is in trouble. Garcia looking to close in, trying to pull off the upset here in the 7th. Adams trying to hold on, knows he's in desperate trouble. 40 seconds to go in the 7th. Adams right in his corner. He hears from an excited Jesse Reed looking to hold. Tim Adams comes in. Garcia is going to continue to punch, and Garcia really hurting his cause here. Adams buying some time.
Adams has to get his hands up. He's getting hit still. Too many punches. Look at him stepping in post holes, locking his legs. You lose your peripheral vision when you're out on your feet.
Cannot be saved by the bout unless it's the final round. Felipe Garcia smells it here, but it appears as if Adams would be able to hold on and survive.
That could be like a mini Foreman if he knocked him out.
Still more rounds.
No trend.
Boy, at the end of that 7th round, that right hand finally found its mark. Over the top goes Felipe Garcia, and almost over the top rope goes Bones Adams. Correct. Very impressive final 7th round.
Felipe Garcia rattling his bones there in the 7th, but unable to put him away. Here's a 20-year-old Bones Adams who was able to find a way to get out of that. And that was with about 40-45 seconds to go in the round.
He survived, and for younger fighters, they tend to recuperate faster than the aged fighters.
20-year-old with 35 fights under his belt as a pro.
You know, the danger of carrying your hands one in front of the other, like Bones Adams does, the danger in that is when you get hurt and you're out on your feet, your hands go back to where they normally stay because you're a little bit foggy. If they normally stay one in front of the other like Adams has them, that's where they stay. And he is defenseless.
Right now, though, keeping his distance from Felipe Garcia, although that's not what Jesse Reed wanted him to do coming out for the 8th round. This is what the trainer Reed said to Adams after that 7th.
Son, look at me. What you're doing, you're going straight back and he's countering you over the top. Move out to the sides and get back into the flow of this thing. You hear what I'm saying? All right? Use your... Come on, wake up. Wake up. All right.
Yeah, he wants the lateral movement, and he wants to buy some time also. He's looking for the movement, but to the sides like that. You shift over, and then you crack your opponent.
And Jesse Reed likes what he just saw.
Yeah,
what Adams.
Jesse does not want is the backward movement, right straight back. The only thing you can do when you move back is run into the rope. He wants the side-to-side movement. And when you get on the side of an opponent, you get the angle on him. You can see him, he can't see you.
But I like to see Adams push Felipe Garcia down. I mean, Adams has been getting those late punches from Garcia, what Reed is calling sucker punches. And they just want to see Bones Adams kind of rev it up, trying to wake him up.
Yeah, too, it's very important for a fighter to stay loose in a fight. Not so loose that you get knocked out, but loose enough to where you can execute your maneuvers.
Garcia staying right in front of Adams. Garcia, 37, says he feels like a 20-year-old.
I think
And don't use the Milton Berle line there.
I was going to say, I think you watched that show. That was a few weeks ago.
Pick him up in there. You go out.
USA's Tuesday night fights coming up in our main event. Former world champion Michael Nunn getting back in the ring, goes up against tough Earl Butler. Something to look forward to. It's scheduled 10-rounder, and it's coming up after this. 8 rounds down and a couple to go in this 10-round featherweight fight. And they've been throwing around more than feathers in this one. The favorite, Bones Adams, 30 victories and 3 defeats and a couple of draws on the right, but he had himself rattled in the 7th round. And right now there's a very close fight going into the final 2 rounds. Both corners trying to pick up their fighters. Felipe Garcia hearing from a now hoarse Jeff Ruff has lost his voice through the course of the first out rounds, telling his fighter, go for it now. You had him in the 7th. Don't worry about anything. Throw caution to the wind and just try to take Adams out here in the 9th.
Well, he remembered what happened back in that 7th round. At the end of that 7th, Garcia woke up, sprung to life, and landed an overhand right, almost knocked Bones to the canvas. But Garcia has been following Bones around the last round and the first part of this round, staying at just the wrong distance, allowing for Bones to score like that.
And a quick turnaround by Bones Adams halfway through the night.
Jesse Reed in the corner of Adams said, you can knock this man out. He is coming in there, land your punches on him. Hit him with that overhand right.
I think Jesse Reed is used to seeing a little more fire in Bones Adams, and that is why I had asked you the question earlier of a fighter turned pro at 15 and now at 20, already in his 36th fight, if that fire may go out at this early of an age.
You know, something you see so many times in all the sports is kids that are pushed into the sport, especially by their parents, they get burned out. They have a short career and a short span. It looks like what is happening with Adams now. He's got a new trainer. He's tuning a new ear to that trainer. And he is trying to get on with his boxing career to pick it up where he left it off. His father did a wonderful job to get him to a certain point, but now it's another level.
So you're saying more confused than the possible burnout?
Confused and getting to know one another in a
transition
ring,
stage.
You learn to tune into that voice in your corner. And right now what he's doing is he's learning exactly what Jesse Reed wants.
Inside 20 seconds in the 9th.
Still a schooling process to be able to do that. But over a screaming crowd, you can still pick out that one little voice.
And it's probably Mr. T's.
Yes. Could be.
That's not a little voice. Well, Bones Adams will hear it for the last time in this fight from Jesse Reed. Should be some good words.
Now we're getting into these rounds where we're looking good. You got the flow. You're going out to the right. This guy, when he's standing straight up, touch him in the body, then the head. All right? Real nice, son. Real nice.
Reed likes him going out to the right. This is Jeff Ruff.
Probably going to throw 100 punches this round. 3 together. 30 combinations of 3 punches. And you will hurt him, all right?
Yeah.
So all I'm asking you to do is throw 30 combinations of 3 punches.
Jeff
throw 100 punches.
Lost his voice.
Let it hang. It's the last round. Let it hang, please.
I think he lost his voice back in that 7th round.
He's either that or doing his Andy Devine impression. And Jeff Ruff is one man in this arena tonight. They're thankful that this is a 10-rounder, not a 12-rounder. And the crowd responds to these two fighters coming out for the 10th and the final round.
Yeah, good appreciative crowd here. A fighter loves to hear that. Crowd applauding. Well, they both worked hard. I have Adams comfortably ahead in this fight. I think he's controlled it, which could be a scary thought if you're